An old church, a wall of tablets, and the plan to become the Illinois beer place. Join us on another trip of beer drinking in the land of Lincoln on this episode of Brewed. A lot of the breweries we visit here on Brewed have kind of an industrial thing going on. This is the exact opposite of that. We are at Obed and Isaac's in downtown Peoria, and this space at one point was the Second Presbyterian Church. And I have to say, Mike, you're the brewmaster here. If more churches looked like this, I would attend more regularly. Tell me about this space first and foremost before we have any of the beer. This is just gorgeous in here.
This building was built as the Second Presbyterian Church in 1889. So we're just at 128 years this year.
Right on.
And just from the outside, before you get inside at all, you have to think that this was all done by actual horsepower. Horse, ropes, pulleys, all your stonework.
So this building was built all those years ago, and it really shows. I mean, this is the aesthetic here. I don't know that you could replicate.
No, the craftsmanship I don't think you could find today in a feasible financial aspect by any means.
So then it's your job to kind of create beer to go along with a space like this, because once you walk in the place, you're already impressed,
Absolutely.
right? You have to, it's your job to figure out a way to make beer that tastes as good as this place looks.
The building awes the eyes, I'm supposed to awe the taste buds.
There you go. So, you know, no big pressure there.
No, not at all. The company that I work for, their motto is all about reviving history through hospitality.
So Obed and Isaac's is the location, and this is actually the second location.
Absolutely.
There's one just like this in Springfield.
Right across the street from Lincoln's home.
No kidding.
They took that opportunity with the construction, the placement, and the buildings that were already there to also revitalize history through hospitality in that industry as well.
So you've got the location in Springfield, you've got a location here. Both have their own on-site breweries.
Absolutely.
And you were telling me before we started the on-camera interview that the water profile is dramatically different between the two places.
We thought it'd be a little bit easier to manipulate the water when we first came here to kind of match Springfield. But
you
here,
do that with like reverse osmosis, or?
We do actually. We send everything here through 2 charcoal filters, a water softener, and a reverse osmosis system. So by the time that's all done, it's as close as you can get to pure water as we're going to get. And then we actually are able to build a specific water profile to each beer we make. So we back add minerals that are already found in water to make a specific beer profile that fits that style of beer best.
Let's talk about this IPA.
Well,
what separates this? What makes it different from other IPAs?
We can start at the water since we're already there.
Right.
So we actually back add the minerals to this water to make it a little bit harder.
Okay.
Like I said, we add anything that you'd normally find in water. Gypsum, baking soda, calcium carbonate, which is the powder form of chalk.
Okay.
But we just try to make this water.
There's chalk in here.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So it's not big in a glass, you wouldn't taste it, but spread over the 465 gallons of finished product.
Yeah, Mike, you don't want somebody to drink your beer and go, I'm really getting a real chalk on the nose here. You don't want that, but it is something that you think about.
Sunday school, chalk, you know, it works out well for this building.
Is there a beer here? You should make like a black stout, call it Sunday school, and just throw chalk in it. You'd make headlines. You'd lose your job, but you would make headlines. It'd be horrendous.
As long as I could pave the way for somebody behind me.
There you go. How long have you been brewing?
I've been brewing commercially for a little over a year, but started as a home brewer, as any brewer for our organization has.
Well, you know what you're doing, because this is delicious. You say commercially. How long have you been home brewing? When did you
I had
start?
home brewed a couple times with some friends, and I started myself maybe a couple years ago.
Okay.
So, did sodas at home and beer, and then...
So you started with sodas?
Absolutely. A good friend of mine and his dad made root beer in their garage, and I just enjoyed the science and everything that goes into it, even though it's just root beer. There's so much that goes into it that you don't appreciate when it's on the palate.
Somebody, and I take this with me everywhere we go, because the brewery we went to not that long ago, they made the point that beer is where science and art really meet.
Absolutely.
It's got to be half science and half art if you know what you're doing.
And
right?
80% janitorial.
Well, right. And of course, keeping everything immaculately clean. The system that you have here, how many gallons are you making a year?
I would say we're on set to do anywhere between 1,000 barrels and 1,500 barrels.
Wow, no
a barrel being 31 gallons apiece.
So this is a brew pub. The beer is only available here?
Absolutely.
Is that something that's going to change? Will it be distributed widely at some point?
I don't see that in our future. We're licensed as a brew pub,
Okay.
so everybody is able to take beer home in a crowler or a growler.
Right on.
And we've talked about potentially doing some production with our ciders in the future.
So if ain't broke, don't fix it. You want their delicious beer, you have to come to this beautiful space to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Because really the two go hand in hand. What beer are you drinking there?
I'm also drinking the PIA IPA because it's never too early.
Why not? It is never too early. I like the way you think. What other beers do you make here? What are your other flagships?
We do probably 60, 70 different kinds of brews a year, but we have 12 on tap at any time.
Okay. Wait, did you say 60 or 70 brews a year?
Absolutely.
Okay, that seems kind of crazy.
Well, we do seasonals throughout the year, and then we like to highlight other styles of beer as far as your Belgians, your Germans, things like that. And we also produce our own ciders here.
Okay.
So with the ciders comes our house cider, and then we have a seasonal or two for every time of the year for that one as well.
So the cider that you make here that you're very proud of is called?
Stiffies,
Yeah,
hard
it is.
cider.
Yeah, it is. We're on late enough. You can
No
say it.
finer in cider.
Okay, well, that part's probably going to get edited out. But that is really the name, and that's like the slogan here, right?
Or it's straight up delicious.
Straight up delicious. Pretty sure we can say that. I mean, we're on late at night after the 10 o'clock news, but we're not on Skinamax here.
No.
Right?
But we've rebranded that because if we were to get our ciders out in the local market, people are more prone to, instead of putting Obed and Isaac's, which is a competitor restaurant or bar,
Sure.
they'd much rather have a stiffy in it, if you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Oh, gosh.
I think I get it. Let's say we're putting a flight together, and we're coming from an hour or so away. We're going to do a flight. What would you recommend?
I like to kind of get a little bit of taste of everything. I also do a lot of brewery tours whenever I travel, so I try to get somewhere on every piece of the map. We have a chocolate milk stout on, which would be your darkest beer.
Chocolate milk stout.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
We use lactose in it,
Yeah.
and then cocoa powder, and we pour it with nitrogen, so you get that little bit creamier mouthfeel, a little bit different viscosity.
Like a Nestle Quick kind of thing for grown-ups.
Absolutely.
That sounds
Absolutely.
fantastic.
And we keep it on the lighter end of the ABV, so it's still drinkable during these spring and summer months, so
Okay.
it's not overbearing.
Okay.
I would have to say to go with the Obed's Pride Amber.
Okay.
It's the first beer that was ever offered by Obed and Isaac's down in Springfield.
Okay.
And it's just one of those beers where you don't have to be a fan of dark beers, you don't have to be a fan of hoppy beers, but it kind of falls right in that middle. It's a darker amber than you would get from some of these others, but it's a little ruby in color.
Okay.
So it really has a nice even body all the way across. You get a good biscuit taste. You also get a little bit of that hop bitterness on the end, just to kind of match everybody's palate. So
Biscuits, chocolate milk. You'd think this place used to be a cafeteria, but no, it used to be, again, a Presbyterian church. We're not doing it justice here. All the visuals you're seeing on your TV, not doing it justice. This is a place you absolutely have to come and see. It's Obed and Isaac's in Peoria. Really easy to find. Just look for the big church with delicious beer inside.
absolutely.
Thanks for your time.
Hey, thank you.
Keep up the great work and cheers.
Cheers.
Coming up on Brewed, carve your own craft beer path. Find out how this tech tap room puts you in charge.